everybody. Welcome into Live with Greg this Sunday night. I am so thrilled to be talking to Miracle Mcintosh. She has an incredible story that she's going to share with us tonight about looking for heart transplant, also a new kidney. But this has come with some challenges along the way, and she's going to be sharing her story with me tonight. And I'm so thrilled, Miracle. You sent me a message wanting to talk about your story. How's it going?
It's going okay right now.
I am so thrilled to be talking with you tonight. And we all go through so many different obstacles in our lives. And, today is a Sunday, and what a day to talk about a story of, keeping your faith and staying prayerful throughout this life's journeys that come our way. And you have had some curveballs thrown at you, my friend. So for people that are watching tonight, share your story from the beginning. What happened in the beginning to get us to this point?
Well, it started after I had my daughter, which is 13 years ago. She's 13. And after I had her, I needed a heart transplant. It's called postpartum cardiomyopathy. Throughout my journey of that, I received a LVAD because 2010, my heart was only pumping about 5%. So they put a heart device in. It's called the LVAD, and it took me about 3 years to get my heart. Once I got my heart, I was fine. I was healthy, and just recently, probably a month ago, I went to Florida and I came back and I was sick, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me they see signs of heart failure. So I'm like, I only done had this heart 10 years. So they told me I had heart failure and I have a full blockage in my apex, and that's at the bottom of my heart, which my heart is too weak for them to go down and put a stent in my heart for the apex. So they're telling me possibly 2 years if I don't receive a heart. So the challenge thing that's going on right now is that I'm B negative. I have antibodies. Antibodies is in my blood. And the antibodies tend to see the heart as a foreign object, so it tries to attack the heart. So they feel like if I get a kidney and a heart, the antibodies are going to attack my heart and my kidneys. So right now I'm having trouble finding a hospital that will take my case. Emory is my primary hospital that I go to, and they reached out to Vanderbilt to see what they take the case. They don't specialize with antibodies. And now they reached out to Duke, which Duke specializes in antibodies. So they gave me a call, and I'm waiting to be able to go to Duke so they could do an evaluation to see can they list me on the heart transplant list.
When you think about everything you've had to go through over the past decade or so, and to have to face this once again, what has kept you going every single day? Because your family, your children, what's really kept you going?
To be honest, once I was told, I was devastated, and I'm human. I totally broke down. Um, Totally just had a breakdown because I just cannot believe that I would have to go through this journey again because the first journey was extremely hard. So, my friends, my family, strangers, nurses, they all have been trying to give me encouraging words, but it's even harder because I have to look at my kids on a daily basis and know, wow, what if mommy don't get that transplant? I won't get to see my daughter graduate because, they put a stamp on it. But I do know that God has the last say so. So my faith is really keeping me going now. So, like I told my family and my friends, no matter what, I'm a fight. If I if I don't qualify to get the heart and the kidney, I'm still gonna fight. And that as long as they know that, I feel better. But I'm just praying right now that Duke take my case, which I believe they are going to take my case, and I would choose to go ahead and take that risk because it's risky. I would go on and do the heart transplant and kidney transplant.
When you think about this, and so many people across the world, and even here in America, you know, on the list looking for a kidney or looking for a heart transplant, for people who don't know what that is like, because you've gone through this before, what is it like to be on that list, waiting and praying, and then you get that phone call?
Well, first of all, to even get on the list, they do evaluate you. A lot of people think just because they go to the hospital and a doctor say that you need a transplant, you have to qualify. You have to qualify by having you have to have support from your family. You you have to be kind of healthy in your other parts of your body, because if they give you an organ and something else is wrong, that means that it's going to attack that heart, and it was a waste of time. But once you're listed, it's categories. You got 2A, 2B, 1A, 1B. And you just wait, and it's the hardest thing because when I was sick the first time, I used to fear going to sleep because I didn't think I was going to wake up that morning, because you never know. You don't know when you're going to get that phone call, but when you get that phone call, it's amazing. It was very amazing when I got the phone call. It was that day was a hard day for me, and I was giving up that day. And I prayed and I told the Lord, I said, if you bless me with this heart, I promise you I'll tell the world about my blessing. I got the phone call about 2 o'clock that morning. So I cannot refeel that, because it's a feeling that it's an unreal feeling. And once they call you, you have to head on up, because it's you have hours to get up there. Then they have to make sure the heart is good. They have to make sure it matches. And once they know that the heart is good and that it matches, that's when you're able to go through with the transplant. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not as easy as people think to get qualified. But once you're on that list, your biggest thing that you have to pray for is patience, because it takes patience to wait. Because with a heart, somebody has to die for you to live, and that's a hard thing as well mentally.
When you think about your children and
Yes.
having that conversation with them at this point in their lives, what was that conversation like, not only for you and your children, but for the entire family?
The conversation was very hard because my son was 6 years old when I received my first heart transplant. He's 19. For him, he's been overwhelmed. It just took him to a different mindset. My daughter, she's totally different. She's strong, and when I told her, they did cry. They cried, but they're they're trying to keep me lifted, and that's what's so amazing about the situation now. Because on my days I don't want to get out of bed, Mama, you got to get out of bed. Mama, you got to get out the bed. Let's go get some fresh air. So I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of my family. I'm proud of my friends. It's been people that I haven't talked to in years on Facebook that has reached out and that has helped me, and I truly, truly appreciate it. But it's an everyday struggle. My struggle is waking up just looking at my kids. You know, I'm unable to do the things that I was able to do because physically and financially. So it's getting pretty hard physically and mentally, but I can say that my kids are holding up pretty strong right now.
When you think about everything your family has gone through, and a lot of people would probably be in a place where they're saying, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel. But you are waking up every single day, putting one foot in front of the other, continuing to pray, continuing to believe and have faith. For
Yeah.
people who are out there right now, no matter what they're dealing with, who are ready to give up and throw in the towel, what would you say to them to keep going and stay in the fight? Because you are a fighter. I can tell you're a fighter. I can tell by your conversations we've had, and I can tell by your passion and everything you've said to me about, I'm in this to win it.
Yes. What I can say is God is not going to put no more on you than you can bear. So he obviously think that you that strong individual to get through your storm. You can only take it one day at a time because it could be worse. But you can only take it one day at a time. And if you have your faith in your Bible and your praying, you could get through anything. I'm not saying when they first told me I was not putting my foot in front of the other. I was in the bed. But I had to click back on because I felt like I had the right to lay in the bed and not do nothing because of the news I got. But it could always be worse,
Mhm.
especially if you have kids. By any means necessary in my book, I'm going to fight because I want to see my kids graduate, get married, have kids. And I know I have came across a lot of people that's going through their storm, and with this pandemic going on, it's a lot of people that want to just give up because the struggle is real. But you can't give up. You have to keep pushing and praying for strength because you're able to do it. You're able to get through it and stay prayed up. That's all. That's the only thing I can tell somebody is stay prayed up. Get your mental together. If you have to write in a journal, if you have to just figure out a hobby to get your brain from constantly thinking about what's going on and try to remove anybody or anything negative because negativity will bring you back down. But just fight and just hold on, and it's gonna be all right. I have to tell myself that every day, and it's easy to say it, but to walk it, it is a little bit harder. But God ain't gonna put no more on you than you can bear, and if you believe that and you have your faith, you'll be fine. And that's
Amen.
how I look at it.
When you think about this and waiting for the hospital in North Carolina to call you back to see if they're going to give you their approval, that means you and your family will have to move so you can be within a certain amount of distance from the hospital. And that will bring on another financial burden for your family. So, for people watching, if they would like to be a blessing to you and your family, what are your needs right now? How can they help you?
To be honest, my needs are everyday needs because the income that I have is disability income. So from everyday needs, like my daughter is a gymnast. I had to take her out of that because I can't afford it. Everyday needs as far as gas, as far as utility bills, any type of bills that I have. And then when I start traveling, that's putting my car on the road. I have to have hotel. I have to be able to feed my family. I mean, it's just a lot. It's just a lot, and I'm to the point where I had to put my pride aside because I'm usually the one on the other end. I'm a
Mhm.
giver. I try to help any and everybody I can because that's the type of heart I got. But it's kind of hard asking for help for myself.
And for people watching, if they want to make a contribution, how can they do so? Because I know you have a Cash App set up.
I have a Cash App set up. Um, it's Patricia McIntosh 1121. I also have a Zelle, which is Miracle Miracle Mac 32 at gmail.com, and I also have a GoFundMe account, and it is a real account. It's a legit account. Um, but any way that you can help, anybody that can help with financially, you know, prayers, prayers. Just keep me in your prayers. That's something that I need. I need prayers. I need help financially, and I just mentally. And I know that everything's gonna be all right. But when you're lacking in a financial standpoint and you trying to keep your body healthy, you stressing. You stressing to make ends meet. And right now, I cannot make my ends meet. I have both of my kids are in school, so he's not working, and my daughter, she's 13. So it's just really challenging. But again, the Cash App is Patricia McIntosh 1121. My Zelle account is Miracle Mac 32 at gmail.com. And I also have a GoFundMe account up under Miracle Macintosh.
And I have all of that posted here on our Facebook post here, as well as on Instagram. As we wrap up tonight, when you think about this next journey in your life, and for you, I know you've talked a little bit about, what you've gone through with your family and your friends, but, for you, any last words you want to share with us for people that are, dealing with a difficult time, touched by your story, who are probably going through the same thing you're going through?
One of the things first I would like to say to my Facebook friends and family that have been there and supported me, I would like to say thank you so much for the help that I have received and the prayers that I have gotten. But what I would like to say is I'm human, I'm flesh, and to know that I have to go through something again and I know how hard it was, I am scared. It's okay to be scared, but what you have to do, you're gonna have to pick yourself up and push yourself. Believe in yourself enough to know that okay, I can handle this. It can always be worse. And for anybody that's out there that is discouraged, love yourself. If you're discouraged, go to somebody and talk to them, because sometimes us as women, we tend to, it's called a woman's zone. We know how to hide so much and people would think nothing's wrong. But if you a person to talk to them. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. A lot of people these days are ashamed to ask for help, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just hold on to faith and continue to pray, and it's going to be okay. But I truly appreciate everybody that has helped me. Everybody bring me to tears, but and the thing about it, I didn't expect certain people to help, and I guess that's why I'm more grateful. And I'm grateful that you even took the time out to run my story. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it.
I thank you for sharing your story with me. You are a Chattanooga native,
Yes.
and you are living in the Atlanta area now because being closer to the hospital and everything. But I just want to tell you, thank you for sharing your story with me. Certainly, my prayers with you and your family, and praying that people pour into you and God bless you abundantly. And I know and believe that God is going to give you the healing that you need, and you're going to have a big testimony to tell on the other side of this.
Yes, because I want to write a book. I need a book out there because the average person has not been through this.
I can't wait to read your book, my friend, because you're going to be a blessing to so many people. You are a blessing, but a bigger blessing because so many people are going to see what God was able to do when doctors said it may not be possible. Keep pushing, my friend. Don't give up. Don't lose the faith. And I'm praying for you. And again, I can't wait to come back and give the testimony and the bigger blessing out of all of this in the weeks and months to come.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Good night, everyone.